What woman am I talking to right now when I say this? How many of you right now, as you are listening to this message, is creeping through your man's info? How many of you guys are going through their phone right now as we speak? How many of you guys are waiting till he slips to sleep and then you want to sit up there and fingerprint his phone and get it open and look into it? I'm saying to you guys that I know what you're doing because I've been there and I've done that. I understand the questions that you have in your mind right now. I understand the insecurities that you have because of things that have happened in the past. I understand that you want to trust him, but you need proof in your heart to feel like you can trust him again because he's damaged what was given to him freely. But I want you to take a different perspective on this. I want you to look at it from a different viewpoint. Not his viewpoint, but God's viewpoint. I'm really speaking, when I'm speaking about this, I'm really zeroing in on women that are married right now. Women. How many of you guys are doing this right now? But think about this. When you said I do, if you are a follower of Jesus, when you said I do, you wanted to welcome him in, right? You wanted your marriage to be you, your husband, and God, right? Meaning that every battle isn't for you to figure out. Every insecurity that he's instilled in you isn't for you to go and search out. You are not a detective. And if you are, this still ain't your business. It ain't your role. This is where your trust in God comes in. Because you asked him to be center stage in your marriage. That doesn't mean that, Lord, I'm going to pray to you and ask you to make him be right, but then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to try to do all the work that I'm praying to you to do. It's about relationship with him, women. It's about relationship with God. I ain't talking about your husband. Because, yeah, he may have broken that trust. Or you may just be carrying on what happened to you in a past relationship. So you feel like, let me get ahead of it because I'm not going to allow any man to hurt me again. Whatever reason is, put the phone down. Close that man's stuff up. Listen to what I'm saying. When you incorporated God into your relationship, that means that he is in your relationship. That means that if it is something for you to know, you got to believe that your relationship is so deep and so strong with God that when it is supposed to be revealed in his perfect timing, it will be. You got to believe that God loves you so much and you have set such a center stage for him to just sit on his throne, that if your man ain't doing right, not only will it be exposed to you when it needs to be, but God will also speak to your husband. Don't sit up there and try to do his job. Your job is to love your husband. Your job is for you to respect your husband. Your job is to be your husband's helpmeet. His job is to love you. His job is to protect you. His job is to love you like like Christ loves the church. Nowhere in the word does it say go and check through her purse. I'm speaking of men now. Nowhere does it say go look for that number up under the car seat in his car. Go look for an earring. See if you smell a woman's perfume. If you gotta do all of that, then you need to think about what you're really doing. And even in all that, you need to pray about it. Because that union that you have with your husband, is a covenant. It's not a contract. It's a covenant that you took with God. When you said I do to your husband, you said I do to God. I do, God. I do welcome you into this. I do welcome you into this. I do welcome you into this. I do trust you, Lord. When you are searching through that man's phone, where's your trust and where's your faith in God? Where is your faith that you know God's got your back too? Where is it? Put the phone down. Close his car door. Give him back his keys. And take it to God. Take it to Christ. And believe him for it. Believe him for his will to be done in your marriage. And if your husband is living foul, and you are following, you doing everything that a godly woman, your Proverbs 31 all the way. If you are doing what you were supposed to be doing, and you know that you are taking it to God, and you leaving it at the altar, you done took your hands off of it, and you leaving it at the altar. If your husband is living foul, God is going to handle that for you. Jesus is going to handle that for you. He will have to account for what he is doing to you. And God loves you so much that you may be there when you don't think that you should be there, but when you no longer are supposed to be there, God will make sure that your circumstances changes. And if you are supposed to remain there, God is going to help. He's going to speak to your husband. Now, if your husband chooses to listen, or if he chooses not to listen, that's his relationship with God. But either way, you're covered. Give your trust to God. You may not trust your husband right now, but trust God. Trust God with your heart, even when you don't feel like you could trust your man's.